So we're just going to do a little tutorial on post-processing now. So I've added in a background in my own time. So I've got a little background sprite. I've just made it tiled and now I've got a greenish, grassy alien world background. For this, we're going to learn some post-processing. So post-processing is just a load of effects you can add to the camera to it's like Instagram filter in your game. So if you go to Window and there's something called Package Manager, and then here you'll probably start off in My Assets, in Project, built in, one of these. You want to click on Unity Registry. Now you want to type in Post in that top right, and you'll get this, Post Processing. And you just want to click Install. So this is basically just a stack of post processing that allows you to kind of change the filter of the game, change what it looks like if you wanted to make it like noir without changing all the assets, stuff like that. Okay. It does take a little bit of a toll on your computer. It does take a little bit of toll on like the memory that the game takes and how fast it will run and stuff like that. But in this case, I don't think it'll be that bad. It's only if you've got a highly dense 2D, 3D world. So we're just going to go to our camera once that's installed, and we're just going to type in post, and you've got a couple of options there. So we're going to start by adding a layer, and we'll change that to everything. And it will say do not use everything as the default as it will slow down the volume blending process. For our game, we don't have to worry about that too much. Then if we add a volume as well, and we'll open that volume up, and this is where we'll do both the work. So we'll press is global, and then here we'll just press new. Okay? And what you can do here is you press add effect, and you get a load of different effects. So I'll show you a couple of them. So intensity for the bloom, if we turn that on, you can see it makes the game a bit brighter, okay? So it's like kind of like a flashbang sometimes. But say you want your game to be kind of a nice, like godlike area, stuff like that. That's when you could use something like bloom. And I'll just go through a couple of these effects. I won't go through them all because you can spend ages on them. Vignette, so if you go turn it to classic, intensity, we add that. It's kind of like a film for vignette. It's like kind of cutting off those corners. If you want to do it like that, you're more than welcome to. So if I press play, and we're like this, so we could have it like this, and then if you watch, the aliens will come out of the darkness, and that's something you could have if you wanted. And that kind of adds that kind of more horror-esque vibe to the game. I'm going to turn that back off for now. I'm going to turn off the bloom as well, because I don't need that. And then if I go Unity, and then if we go to color grading, and if I just open that up, and I just turn the contrast all the way down, all the way up, you can see you can change how bright the game is. I can leave it back onto 0. And if I turn the saturation on and I turn it all the way down, that's when you've got your kind of noir game. So even though everything's coloured, so we've got all these different coloured aliens, when we play the game, it's all black and white. So if this was like a weird detective, mobster, top-down shooter, that's probably something you'd want to use, okay? But you can mess around with this, and I'm not really going to show you every single thing, because it will take forever, and it's more of kind of like throw yourself in, see what you want, okay? Like I always find adding a grain in and making it look like an old-timey TV is quite fun. So you could do this and then kind of make it look like an old-timey TV when you move about. But you can add whatever you want to the game to make it your own, okay? Make it have a bit more of its own character, okay? And there's loads of different things you can change. So I'll leave it to you to do that. You can change it to the way you want. And then I'm going to change mine now. So this is what I've done for mine. So I've added some bloom, I've added some color grading and some chromatic aberration, I think is the way to say it. But as you can see, like the edges are a bit more blurry now when the enemies come in, and I've turned up the colours of the saturation so it's all a bit brighter. That's just what I've decided for mine. And the beautiful thing about this is if I wanted to just turn it off, I just turn off the volume, done. And you got it back to what it originally was, okay? And you can see the difference quite quickly then. But you can use this tool to kind of improve what your game looks like, make it look different with kind of less art. Because it's difficult to make art, it's time consuming, and you really need to be talented at it. And I feel like for myself, I'm not very good at art. That's why I've got someone else to do my art, and I've also used post processing to kind of back up my game and make it look more different without changing all my assets. But yeah, so try that tool, it's quite useful. And we'll look at what we can do next to improve our game.